Hello everybody, it's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos. How we all doing today? Coming at you with a new update, and let's get right into it. So, as we know, there's a lot of uncertainty in markets between, is the CBDC going to be rolling out next month or the month after that or sometime soon? Are more banks going to crash? What's going on with cryptocurrency? Are more regulations on the way? We see a lot of these companies looking to move offshore now out of America. What's going on? There's a lot of confusion. Gold is up, gold is down, silver's up, silver's down. The dollar, inflation is high, but it's getting stronger in the world. What in the world's going on? How can anybody make anything out of what's going on today? It's crazy, I tell you, that's for sure. But let's start out with crypto. So we've got some of these, we've had this meme coin pumps going on lately, and that's been kind of the main talk and focus as far as individual cryptocurrencies go. We all know Pepe coin did what, over 1,000x, and now it's come down about half the price of its high, maybe even a little bit lower. You got to know, when you get into these meme coins and you see them pump, 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 and when they pause, more than likely they're going to start to fall. People who bought in at that 1/1,000,000th of a cent have made hundreds of thousands, or maybe more, off of their $1,000 or $500 investment, and they're happy with that, and they're going to start selling. And then when other people who also bought at those real cheap prices see the price start to come down, they're going to say, hey, let me take a little bit of profit off the table, even if they only sell half. Enough people do that and it drops the price. What's going to be the catalyst that drives it forward? What makes these coins have value other than the hype that they're a meme coin and everybody's piling in just because they see it going up? Eventually it's going to hit that plateau, and we all know what goes up must come down. So it seems like these coins, either they have relevancy or they don't. Either they have something that's going to keep them propped up, or they don't. For instance, you have like Dogecoin, which had a huge pump a few years ago. And when it started to settle down a little bit, what happened? Elon Musk started tweeting about Doge, propping it back up. So it had something to keep it relevant. Even though we all know that Doge can print as many Dogecoin as they want. But it has value because people believe that Elon Musk believes in it. He actually made the Twitter symbol, the little Doge. He took the little blue Twitter bird down and put up the Doge symbol for a while. I don't know if that's still going on. I don't think so. I think he's back to the blue bird again. But every now and then he'll come in and do something to give it a little spark of excitement. And people will think that it's going to be the currency of Twitter, and Twitter is huge. So that would be a huge boost for Doge, and that gives people reason to hold on to it instead of selling it. So that's basically what I have to say about these meme coins and these super cheap coins that you can get millions of for pennies, for dollars. And just be careful when you see them pause. That's probably a good time to think about jumping out, especially if you've made a decent profit. And you don't have to sell all of it. Get your money back out that you put into it. Sell half. Do what you feel comfortable with. I'm not giving financial advice on any of this page, although I can be considered a financial advisor. This is not financial advice because I am not a certified financial planner. So it would be illegal for me to give financial advice, but I'm just saying what I personally would do. That's all this video is. Take it or leave it. Just me ranting, okay? So, as far as the next crypto bull run, let me say this, and I've said it in many videos in the past. People who follow charts in crypto, people who look at short-term charts, not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Not yet, at least. Crypto's only been around 11, maybe 12 years now. It doesn't have enough of a record where you can follow short-term trends. It doesn't have enough volume. I'm going on CoinMarketCap right now. And the volume, $25 billion traded, and all the nearly 25,000 cryptocurrencies. That's peanuts. Any big sell or big buy can make the price fluctuate no matter what the chart says. You know, there may be people out there that read, hey, the chart is making a cup and handle, everybody's going to come in and buy, I'm going to short the market and I'm going to sell all my crypto and make it on the way down, and then when it comes down, I'm going to buy back in. It can be manipulated way too easily right now until you see volumes, you know, 100 billion, 150, you know, minimum. Then at least you've got a little bit of, you've got more people in there that can hold the price up. You've got more people looking for good deals when the price does drop to jump in and support these charts. But anything below that, even that is not great volume, but you know, 25 billion, that's peanuts. It's easily manipulated. So the only chart you should go by on cryptocurrency is the zoom out chart. And that's the chart of Bitcoin going, or cryptocurrencies going from, you know, pennies to dollars to hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars. And you can see that that is the only consistent pattern, is an upward pattern. And we all know that that's because of the Bitcoin halving. And that's really the catalyst, and more people finding out about crypto, because, you know, 10 years ago I heard of Bitcoin. I didn't even know how to buy it. It was difficult to buy. You had to buy it on a piece of paper or something like that. You had to have all this, you had to be tech savvy or know somebody who knew about it. So it was difficult to buy Bitcoin, you know, even 10, 11 years ago when it first came out. Even, you know, until exchanges like Coinbase started coming online, then it became, you know, easier for the, you know, the public to get in and buy it. But before that, it was very difficult to buy. So we need to see more volume. That's the first thing I'm going to say. So we need to get the public's interest back in it. And what I think could lead to this year's bull run, which I expect to happen, but there's some buts. I expect to happen later this year, closer to October-ish, I would say. And this is going from the pullback historic chart. I think before the last bull run, you know what one of the catalysts was? Litecoin. And I think that could be a trigger again this time around. Cryptocurrencies have not been doing especially great. They haven't been doing terrible. But when they fall, I want you to keep an eye on Litecoin. Litecoin has been holding its ground. And when the market goes slightly up, Litecoin is jumping more than the others, it seems. Except for, of course, your meme coins and things like that. But I think Litecoin has been one of the most steady performers over the last couple of months. And the reason being is, and I know a lot of people poo-poo Litecoin and they think, oh, it's old news and nothing exciting about it. Well, there's a lot of excitement actually to be had in Litecoin in the years to come here. And let's get into this a little bit. So Litecoin, they've equated, you know, they've said it's the silver to Bitcoin's gold, just like gold and silver. So although Litecoin is not nearly as popular as Bitcoin, it's been around almost as long as Bitcoin, and it has basically the same fundamentals, except it has, it's a 4-to-1 as far as amount of tokens, where Bitcoin has 21 million, Litecoin has 84 million tokens, but that's coins that will ever be, okay, no more than that. They both have a halving every 4 years, except Litecoin's halving comes about a year sooner than Bitcoin's. So we have the Litecoin halving coming up here shortly. And let's see if we go to the Litecoin halving, when the expected date is for that. And So about 2 months and 10 days, we've got a Litecoin halvening coming up. Usually before halvenings, you'll see gradual gains going into the halvening, and then you'll see explosive gains after. So again, not financial advice, but if I was going to be jumping on any cryptocurrency right now for the next 2 or 3 months or longer, 4 months, I would be seriously considering Litecoin. Now, what else does Litecoin have going for it? Well, besides that it has this happening, there's going to come a time when Bitcoin, and people don't like to spend their Bitcoin, let's face it. You know, there are a lot of wallets that come out that only hold Bitcoin. At the Bitcoin conference, they were talking about wallets that you can buy your Bitcoin, you can choose to spend your Bitcoin or choose fiat and then buy Bitcoin back on the wallet. That's all fine and dandy, but the fact is, people don't sell their Bitcoin for the most part. They hold it. Because when you look at the statistics, hodlers, people that don't, sell their Bitcoin, people hold it for years and years. They don't want to give it up because they know what they have. People who understand Bitcoin understand its value, and they don't want to just give it up. So they hold it. So those kind of wallets, to me, although I know these are Bitcoin maximalists, and trust me, Bitcoin is very valuable because it's so limited and because it's never been hacked and because it has an algorithm that makes it easier to mine when less people mine it, and more difficult to mine when more people try to mine it. So as it gets more expensive, more people want to mine it, so they make it more difficult for you to mine, so you can't get as much of it. And then when nobody wants to mine it because Bitcoin is cheap, well, then they make the mining easier, so then you can get more Bitcoin for mining. It's really genius the way that Satoshi figured out the whole way, the halvenings and the mining and just everything behind it. But so people are not going to want to sell their Bitcoin, but what they might want to trade in is Litecoin, because it's so similar to Bitcoin, but it moves much faster and the fees are much cheaper. So if you wanted to buy a pair of sneakers with your precious Bitcoin, do I really want to spend $100 worth of Bitcoin that might be worth, 10,000 in a few years? I don't know. I'd much rather spend my Litecoin, which is cheaper. The fees are lower. Do I want to spend a $10 fee or an $8 fee on using the Bitcoin, or do I want to, spend a 2-cent fee on trading or selling my Litecoin? They're both on the Lightning Network, which is also going to be a big advantage because that's going to be used by a lot of companies that are going to substitute the SWIFT system for the Lightning Network. So again, that will give Bitcoin more speed, but it's still not going to compare to Litecoin. And again, people don't want to sell their Bitcoin. Litecoin is still fairly plentiful. There'll come a time when Bitcoin is so precious and it keeps increasing in value. See, now it fluctuates because there's still too much of it that comes on the market after this next halving. That's going to change. But it comes on the market every day, right? 900 and something coins every day. But after this halving, it's going to go down to 450. Ooh, that's not too many. And then after that, it's going to go down to 225. That's really low. Where Litecoin, you still have like 1,800 a day coming on the market. It kind of keeps the price low because it's plentiful. And that's how things work. When things are plentiful, people don't realize the scarcity until they don't realize its value until it's harder to get. And the harder it gets, the more people want to hold on to it tightly. So right now, people are still a little free with their Bitcoin, but after this next halvening, I think there's going to be a big halvening for Bitcoin personally. Now, I did say there were some buts. Buts. Of course, if severe regulation comes in and really clamps down in the United States on cryptocurrencies, of course, that could be an issue, right? That could affect the price negatively. I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to zero unless all countries ban it around the world. And that would probably be because some kind of worldwide CBDC came out, and then black market Bitcoin is still going to have value because people are not going to, they're going to want to have some freedom outside of the system, even though they may be breaking the law. I think people will still be willing to trade in Bitcoin. There's always been a black market. You know, when they outlawed alcohol, there was still a black market for alcohol. Prohibition times, right? So it's always going to have value. But guys, I would keep my eyes on Litecoin right now. As far as stocks go, one that I just purchased today, right before the end of the business day on the stock market, 4 o'clock, was SRS. Okay, and if you look up SRS, it's called ProShares Ultra Short Real Estate. And this is a company that shorts real estate. I know real estate's been super hot. It's been super hot for 8 years or more. But again, what goes up must come down. So you got to play the odds. Real estate is at all-time high prices, right? Meaning that if you want to buy, what's your average price of your house? It's getting near $400,000, $350,000. If you're going to put 20% down on a $400,000 house, that's $80,000 plus closing costs. You're looking probably about close to $90,000. I don't know how many people have $90,000 to put down on a house. You know, and that's your average house. You know, I mean, that's not even a top of the line house with upgrades. You start adding upgrades and granite countertops. You know, some of them may come with some of these things, but you know, screened in patios and whatever, you know, whatever other upgrades y'all like, wood floors throughout. Guys, it's expensive. Now you got your interest rates, 7%, you know, around there. That's what the bank's going to charge you. And you know, interest rates are not at all-time highs. Of course, back in the 70s, they were over 20%. But still, everything is high right now. If you were a thinking person, you more than likely say, hey, why don't I just wait and see what happens right now? You know what I mean? And I think that's the approach that a lot of people, I think that's the phase we're getting into right now. In my area personally, which has exploded over the last few years, especially in price and growth, I've seen more houses come on the market here in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 months, maybe more. So I think people are starting to say, hey, let's, and these are people that are either divorcees who one person has been living in the house, or investment properties. And I think these people are saying, hey, I don't want to get stuck paying for something I can't afford or something I'm going to be underwater in. I've made my money on it. I've made good money on it. I've made over $100,000 on it. It's time to sell. And then, hey, if it continues up, how much more is it going to go up? I mean, is it going to go up the way it has been? I don't think so. More than likely, it's going to come down. And they may, you know, come back in and buy again. But at this time, I personally would not be buying real estate. I'm actually shorting real estate. So again, SRS is a stock you can buy. It's called ProShares Ultra Short Real Estate. I just bought it today at $18.47, and I'll be looking to trade it because I think it may fluctuate a bit. But I'm going to be looking to trade that on the swing. The major swings up, I'm going to try and sell, and on the major swings down, I'm going to try and buy back in. And let's see how that goes. We'll talk about it over the next few weeks here on Joe Knows Cryptos. Thanks for tuning in. God bless each and every one of you. Hug your kids, kiss your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, hug and kiss your significant other. Just love everybody. Or just love on everybody. All right? Pet your pets. Signing off.